Hi, so let me show you this chatbot which I built with React and TailwindCSS, and let's just see how that works. So basically, there is I'm chatting with a bot, and this is the reply, and here I'm to type what I want to ask the bot. So let me just ask, what is your name, and chat, and the bot is typing. And I was able to put this uh, when it goes more than 8 seconds. And now it says my name is RoboMatic and I'm getting better over time. So let me just ask again, how old are you? And here it says my first version was released in October 2003. So let me just try and give it a math equation. So I'll just say that 20 times 35. Let's see. It says sure the result of 20 multiplied by 35 should be 700. And let's just try one more. 16 plus 20. So it says sure the result of 16 plus 20 should be 36. So we can see it working. And let me just go to the documentation from the RoboMaticAI. That's the API I was able to get backend access to. That's hosted on Rapid API. So we can see some of the code that was given here, which I plugged in into the front end to get this. So seems fairly good. The latency isn't really that good. As you could see, it was a bit slow, and the seems to like the popularity is not that bad either. But it has quite some good features. You can see some of them here, and let me just go to my code. And here is the code I was able to write for the front end to plug into the API, and you can see it's an app.js file. And definitely we're going to use state, and I also included use effect from React, and the React query library. I was able to import that too, and Axios to fetch the data. And then I was able to set that up, the client up, and I said refresh on Windows Focus false, and that was now how I was able to put in the chatbot here. So the chatbot component is what I have down here, and all this actually represents what we can see in the what we can see here in the front end here. So I was able to create the states, the hooks, all the state hooks, and we can see started, set started. So I created started so that I will be able to get the information. Like let me refresh that, and this here. So it's always going to have that unless there is data sent to it for the first time. So if we come down here where we have the use effect here, we can see that this just saying if started is false, then I'm going to have this hi, want to chat with me, and we can see that over here is set to false. So for the first operation, I can see that we can see that it's going to set it to true when we are submitting that. So the next one here is the info, and it says set info for the info hook. And basically what that is meant to do is to take in the information here. That's what you're chatting, what you're typing for the bot to see. So it's going to save that in that state over here. That's the info hook, and we can see where it's taking it from down here. So we can see the input here, and this TailwindCSS I used to style that. So but here where we have on change, we can see it's setting that info and taking the value of that target element, which is the input. So it's setting that. So the next one here is the message here. So the message eventually is what will be passed on as the full text. For example, here once I'm able to click on chat after typing in what I want, that is going to pass that info to the message hook. So basically how that is set is on the form. So we can see it says on submit, trigger the submit handler. And if you go up to the submit handler here, we can see it prevents refreshing. It sets started to true, like we said here. Then that means it's going to get ready to clear this off, and then it's going to set the message from the info. So what that means is that it's going, whatever is typed here, it's going to put it in the message hook, and it will clear that input. So it will clear this here. And once that is done, then it means that the message is set. And once the message is set, if we come down to over here where we are meant to fetch the data, we can see the use query from the React query library. We can see that message is the dependent here, so it's depending on message. So once message is changed or added, then it's going to trigger this use query. And what that means is it will run this function called fetch data, and it's going to run this. So it's using Axios to request based on these options here that was set by the API, and then it's going to respond with the data, and that data is what's going to be passed here. So we just have data, its initial loading, its error and error. So that's what I did here. I said if there is a data, then it's going to set reply to data.out. So that's the reply which will be taken in the response, which is what we can see here. So it's going to set that reply to the data.out, and if there is an error, it's going to set the error, and if it's still loading, then it will show typing. And after 8 seconds, I use the set interval to respond that the bot is still trying to figure out what to respond. So that's basically it. And here is dependent on the data, the errors, and the initial loading, and also when started is triggered. So the rest of it is basically the component itself, what is returned, and is styled with TailwindCSS. And basically I just used the majority of the default styles, except for, I think here I just added the sans for the font family styling. So, and that's just it. So let's just try one more time and just say when is your birthday, something like that. Let's see. Chat. So it's trying to fetch, type in. I said, sorry, I don't know the time. I wish I had the birthday. So basically that's the chatbot, and you can check it out here on this URL. I'm going to put it down where this video is, and if you have any comments or suggestions, do let me know. That's it. So thank you. Bye.